Hey guys, thanks for joining us for another episode of the Beers and Bitcoins Crypto Podcast. We are a crypto podcast for the man's man. And yes, the ladies that love the guys that love this show. We had a nice little fun talk about that earlier.
We did. We're like, ladies who love them. Who is them? Is it us? Do your ladies love us? Or do your ladies love you?
Your ladies love you, and that's why they're a fan of the show.
Yeah, because they care about what you care about. And you love us and think we're two sexy dudes. No, you think we're two manly dudes, and then they think that we're sexy dudes, I think. No, still off.
It's something like that, though. I think I like I like where you're going with that. Anyway, we're happy to be here. It's going to be a fun show. Ben, what are we going to talk about this week?
Yeah, this week we got a lot of interesting news coming at you. I mean, guys, we are only 6 days, depending on how the hash rate goes, away from the halving. So we got big news on that. We're going to be talking about that a little bit today. But in Newsbreak, we're going to be talking about the U.S. Senate floating blockchain voting to help them with their votes for legislation if they happen to have to go remote due to the pandemic. On Token Time, we're talking about a coin that is up 600%. And it's a coin you've heard of in the last month and a half.
Jeez.
A lot of people have been sleeping on it. We've had some people from that project to work with them on the show before, and it's phenomenal to see how they're doing. We'll talk about that. On What You Think, we're going to answer a question everybody wants to know about the Bitcoin halving. And on Manspreading, my boy, J Chains, is getting a new motorcycle. So let's talk some steel and chrome.
Vroom, vroom, baby.
Vroom, vroom. But first and foremost, we got to start the show off by talking about the halving. I mean, it's everywhere. And I don't know if you know.
It's too close. It's too close.
It's too close. It's so fast. It's so soon. So I was actually in a music video.
Oh, that was funny. I saw that.
You saw it? Yeah, I
saw that.
So
nice little mashup of the community there. That was cool.
Yeah, Wendy was in it. It was so funny. Did you see what Wendy was doing?
Yeah, she was doing like something in the kitchen. She was making something, right?
She was making a sandwich.
That's awesome.
She was making a sandwich wearing an apron. It was in the kitchen. It was pretty funny. But the name of the song is I think it's the Halvening or Bitcoin Halvening. And it's by the Coin Bros. And so they reached out to me and said, like, hey, what's up, BitBoy? Can you, give us some little clips or whatever? So I said, okay. So I had this idea, right? The whole idea they said is like they wanted us to have, you guys can check it out on YouTube. Just go to Coin Bros and click videos is their latest video. And so I had this idea. I was like, oh, man, I've got this super original idea. What they wanted is they wanted all kinds of people like ripping stuff up, like cutting something in half. And I was like, okay, cool. So, of course, I watched it in like Zombie, Kyle from Crypto Zombie. He had a chainsaw. I was like, dang.
Yeah, that was super cool.
That was super cool. Super cool. But I was like, I got this great idea. I'm going to take a picture of Peter Schiff and Noriel, and I'm going to rip them. I was like, and I sent him a message. I was like, I hope this is original. That's like what everybody in the video did.
It's still good. It was still good.
Yeah.
It was funny to see. It was funny to see all the creativity come together in everybody's little space, wherever they may be around the world, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know if you noticed, but I wasn't ripping anything. They had me in there for my dance moves.
You were ripping up a rug. You were cutting a rug, my man.
Yeah,
you were looking good, man. I feel like you had just probably got your hair cut. I think your beard was like freshly manicured.
Yeah.
You were looking good.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. You know what? You always look good, and I really love you. We're having a weird moment here. Okay, let's move on. Let's get back to the halving. So anyways, I want to tell you guys about that. That was pretty cool. We're going to talk about the price around the halving and stuff. But how do you feel, Jay, that it's like finally right around the corner after years of talking about
years? It's every 4 years or so. And I feel like we've really been talking about it for the last 18 months. And it's just like, the anticipation's been just swelling and swelling. And it's like, holy smokes, like now we're actually here. Like we've been talking about this for a while, like the halvening's approaching. And like,
yeah,
oh, it's here.
It's here. But and this is what I would like to say to our listeners, which is if you are still in crypto and you made it from the 2017 bull run to now, you made it from the bull run all the way to the halving, you are officially an OG.
OG.
There we go. You made it.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. You made it. You will no longer hear people say things like, you just got into crypto in 2017. I know you guys probably hear that a lot. People out there, especially if you're on Twitter or anything like that. But now, hey, when this run happens, you're the OG. You're the one people are going to be going to. So a lot of people dropped out. And so, if you stayed in, I salute you.
Yeah, more power to you. To go from the top to the bottom, hopefully back up soon.
Hopefully. If this doesn't do it, I don't know what's ever going to do it. If we make it to the next halving and we haven't pumped yet and we're still talking about, okay, but the next halving is going to be really good, we're going to be in a bad spot.
We just sat sideways for another 4 years. Oh, jeez.
Oh, my gosh. How much? Let me ask you this.
It'd be like Groundhog Day.
We're way off topic here, but I want to ask you this real quick before we move on.
Uh-huh.
How much longer can you wait and still be in crypto? Like, what's your cutoff? Like, look, if in 5 years we're still at 10,000, I'm out. Is it 2 months? Is it 8 months? Is it 3 years? What do you think? What's your day?
I don't really want to. I'm not going to give up that easy, but something's got to give soon, man. Yeah. Like, I think everyone's just like chomping at the bit for it. Like, I'm not ready to ditch the game, but I think I'd have to take like maybe a side step in some regards. Yeah. I mean, I would never leave this podcast. Don't worry about that.
Dang, this was my way of trying to kick you off, and you didn't even see
it. Dude, it was like, man, we went through like a little spurt. What, like 6 months ago, 8 months ago? I thought you were trying to cancel me every week. Why
did you think that? I think you were just in your head, dude. Like, we took a summer break. Now, the summer break was pretty rough. We took the summer break. And was that
That's what summer? It was. When it was like real bad, was that summer, whatever. It had to have been 19.
Yeah, summer 19. Yeah, summer 19.
Coming up on a year. Man, we're going to look back many years from now, man. That summer 19 was vicious.
Yeah, it was vicious. I tell you what. Well, you know what it was? Because we were like all excited. We went out to the conference and we took a break. We were like, you know what? We went out to the Bitcoin 2019 conference in San Francisco, and we said, you know what? Like, we did a bunch of interviews there. We had a bunch of content. You're like, you know what? Let's take a couple weeks off. I was playing in the WSOP for the poker or whatever. And then the whole market just got wrecked. We were like, do we have to keep doing this podcast?
Well, we persevered. So just like what we said, if you've made it down to the dumps and hopefully back up to the top, congratulations, you made it.
Absolutely. Well, one thing that never dumps is the Monarch wallet. And if you didn't know, the Beards and Bitcoins Crypto Podcast is brought to you by the Monarch wallet. Rule your own financial kingdom from the palm of your hand.
That is right, Ben. The team at Monarch is working hard to bring you the one app to access all the best crypto services. These guys believe in delivering tech, not hype.
And with the universal decentralized Monarch wallet, you can buy, store, spend, and earn crypto. With Monarch Pay, you can set up and accept recurring crypto payments.
Nice. If you need more information, check out monarchwallet.com or monarchtoken.io today.
Yeah, and of course, the president of Monarch is our good friend Robert Beatles, a.k.a. Crypto Beatles. I actually got to spend some time with him this weekend virtually for the Blockchain Influencer Awards we co-hosted.
Very fun. How's he doing?
He's doing phenomenal. It was good to see a lot of those people. Crypto Crow, Wendy, for sure. Crypto Blood, Rice Crypto is there. A lot of cool folks. I think I'm leaving somebody out. Can't remember. Adam was there. Adam Charles. But I don't know if you heard. I mean, we didn't talk about it on the podcast, but I won 2 awards. Yeah. Funniest crypto influencer.
Nice.
Okay. And the Golden Upvote Award, which is the only fan-only nominated and voted award. Second consecutive year. Here's a funny story. Second consecutive year winning the award. But this year I actually split it. So the producer of the awards, Adam, he came to me and he said, look, you beat this other guy by 2 votes. He had already told the other guy that he won. What happened is he didn't realize that a lot of people nominated me as the CEO of Facts, because that's my other brand. When he combined the scores, I won by 2 votes. Do you know who it was?
Who?
It was Chico. So Adam told me, he said, you can either take the award by yourself or, because you did win rightfully, or, if you wanted to split it with him, because I already told him you could do that. I said, you know what? There's nobody I'd rather split an award with than Chico. So
there you go. I think that's kind of how the universe unfolded for you. That's pretty neat.
It was It was nice. I was so excited. Speaking of excitement, though, let's hop in to news break. Big news. News break. Okay, guys. So for news break today, we've got a very interesting story, and it involves blockchain voting, but not the traditional kind of blockchain voting that we've talked about or hoped for in the past, where we would go and vote for the president with blockchain voting. But this could kind of be a precursor to it. So why don't you tell them what's going on with it, Jay?
Absolutely. So, according to an article that we were looking at, a staff memo had been revealed that the U.S. Congress was considering blockchain technology as a means for the Senate to conduct remote voting during all the coronavirus pandemic. So, while they're unable to attend the chamber for voting, they could do it through the blockchain, which I think anybody in the space thinks that's a fantastic idea. I mean, if not anything, it's a trial to see how it works. But it leads to a lot of really good things if you're a believer in the technology.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing has been absolutely fascinating. And I think one thing it really shows is that, a lot of times people are very resistant to change, but technology progresses at a rate that when people eventually get to a place where they hit a wall, like all of a sudden things are going great. You would never think this would have to be something you would have to, worry about. You're down on cryptocurrency. You're a politician. You don't care about blockchain. But then all of a sudden this pandemic hits and you say like, man, I sure wish there was a way that I could verify it, certified, send my congressional vote in a way that cannot be tampered with and is permanent without having to actually go into the office and catch the Rona.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think one of the things that the article talks about and probably is a valid concern for some of these senators, and maybe there is a way to alleviate this concern, but I think the 51% attack is something that is, at least what they say, is something that they're fearful of. So it would have to be some kind of technology that would avoid that. And what do you think?
Who's fearful of it?
The senators, like in that staff memo, they say that they're fearful of. I
would be shocked if one senator in the United States knows what a 51% attack is.
So it says the report identifies concerns regarding a 51% attack on the blockchain used to host Senate ballots, emphasizing that, in quotes, any remote blockchain voting system would need to be properly set up to eliminate any threat of a 51% attack, end quote.
Well, it's my understanding, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I believe a 51% attack is most easily done with a proof of work, a mining blockchain. But if you were to use a different type of blockchain, then I think it's a little bit harder to do those 51% attacks. I believe. I mean, when you think about
if you're a listener, if you're a listener of the show, this will be in one of the probably audio clips that'll follow.
Yeah.
Just answer the question. Let us know if someone knows. So we can speculate, we can talk, and it's fun for us to do that. But if someone's like, well, I'm a math man and I know this.
I'm a Bitcoin miner, but I'm of age.
That was terrible, but it was good.
Yeah, it's good. Well, it's interesting to bring up that concern because I actually did a video today. By the time you guys are listening to this, it will be a couple days back. We're recording this on Tuesday. On Tuesday, I made a video about Bitcoin mining in China. And, mining is something I just don't know a lot about, Right. I've got limited knowledge. I've never ran a miner, but I believe, and after doing a lot of research on this, that people were concerned back, a couple of years ago when there were two mining pools that almost had a majority. Some say did have a majority of the hash power going through those two mining pools, and they were both owned by China or Chinese owned, not government owned. Right. And so I did a video talking about how I believe that if China overtook the mining pools, if the government overtook those mining pools, I think they could actually maybe not. You can't destroy Bitcoin because it's an idea, but they could crush the network.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, you got to put those thoughts into people's minds, man.
Well, and this is why, and this is what I said in the video, which is the fact that I had to dig really deep into a lot of research to really figure out whether or not that's even possible is kind of a scary thing, because I think it's this thing that people just don't talk about that everybody kind of knows is technically possible. And China hadn't really had they haven't had the motivation to do something like that. But now they're coming out with their own digital centralized currency. And now that, they could see Bitcoin as a competitor. So, some people were arguing in the comments of that video, they were saying like, okay, well, yeah, but some of those mining pools are decentralized. So some of those rigs aren't necessarily in China. Well, yeah, but we understand the vast majority of Bitcoin mining goes on in China. So most of those rigs are there.
Right. Absolutely. I know that they were building, who was it? Was
Texas,
it
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like just a few hours east of me. They were going to build like the hugest, nice choice of words there. The largest facility in the United States, right, for mining?
Yeah, and I think I don't know if we can say, I don't know if but I don't know if I can say the person, so I'm not going to say the person, but I know someone who's been on our show who was actually helping with that project. That was actually, before this whole thing hit, was scheduled to go out there and talk with them about, some consulting to set it up. So
it was on Twitter. I don't want to say it either, but
yeah, I don't know. I can't remember if it was on Twitter or not. I saw it, I think, in it was a direct message to me, so I didn't see it on Twitter.
Bum, bum, bum.
Go dig through Twitter, see if you guys can find out who it is. He's a friend of the show. We love him. But yeah, so it'd be cool if we did if we had a lot more Bitcoin mining here in the United States. But just to get back to your question on why I would talk about that, I think that these are types of things that, like, if we can't really be honest about cryptocurrency and transparent about, like, really, I guess, kind of not flaws isn't the right word, but some of the fears on some things that could happen with crypto, I feel like we're never going to really shore up those things. And if that did happen, if people understood that there are fail safes, like, okay, if that happened, Bitcoin, the developers could fork it, or they could actually, it would be kind of a long process, but they could actually change the consensus method. So it could go from mining to actually proof of work.
Proof of stake.
Proof of stake. I don't know why I was still on my mind there. Yeah, they could switch to proof of stake. There are some other consensus algorithms that they could change it to. People are talking about that because Bitcoin may have to do that if, like, I don't know, climate change gets real crazy, whatever it might be. So there are some stuff in the background that could happen regarding that. So it's important to talk about this stuff, because if we all understood, like, okay, if they did that, this would be the plan and it would work, that could actually keep them from doing it. So in a roundabout way, by talking about it and by bringing up the solutions, like, yeah, if they did that, then we would go ahead and go this route, then that would prevent them from thinking like that's something they could actually do and get away with, and, have their centralized cryptocurrency be the world reserve currency, which is kind of their goal.
Wow.
I know, it was insightful. You can just say, like, dang, BitBoy, that was super insightful.
Dang. Now let's just make sure that the U.S. Senate uses blockchain if they have to vote while in quarantine.
Yes, exactly. Will they be in quarantine is a better question.
I hope we're not all in quarantine soon. Although I think they're starting to say that round 2 is going to be worse. But anyhow, that's not
what the show's
about.
I think it's over. I think we're on the way down. I think it's over. Do you know what is over with this? And we're going to move on to token time right after this. But I want to get your thought on this one thing. The fear is gone from it.
Absolutely. The fear, it has to be gone, right? It's less than 0.001% of my county has COVID.
Yeah.
You have probably a better chance of getting struck by lightning.
You do. Well, maybe not struck by lightning, but
if I went outside with a golf club in a thunderstorm, yes.
Yeah. And I think what we've seen is just how widespread it was, and that means the death rate is very, very, very low. And I'm not scared. I'm not scared anymore. And it's different. Like, I was never scared I was going to die from it, but I was scared I was going to get it.
And give it to someone else that may end up dying.
Exactly. But I feel like we've moved past this to where your average person in America is no longer fearful of this. And to me, the identity of America is like, we do what we want. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how we roll, We
dang
like
right, son.
Yeah, dang right. We like our liberty. We like our freedom. We want to do what we want to do. And that's cool. That's real cool. Okay. But now we had this fear coming in where people were actually kind of like nervous, like, can we go out? Are we going to die? Are we going to get sick? We want our liberty, but I don't want to die. But now that part is gone. So now we're just back in like all America. Let's take our freedom. Let's take our liberty. Let's go do what we're going to do kind of stuff. I do believe we still are going to see some, common sense stuff. Like, I went to a barbecue place a couple weeks ago or earlier this week, and they only 10 people could sit inside at a time. It's a pretty big place. So
Mhm.
I'm down with the common sense stuff. I mean, if you don't got to be out doing something, no reason to just say, you know what, I'm going to go to a restaurant because I'm bored right now. Like, you shouldn't be doing stuff like that. But at the same time, at this point, I think most people in America, we're just living our lives.
Just living your life, man. I mean, wearing the mask, doing the thing. I got sanitizer in the car. But let's time to go about life. It's just time.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. I ordered my Falcons mask a week ago. I'm still waiting on it.
I mean, and I work at home. Like, I'm home all the
me
time, so
too.
it doesn't matter. It's just
Me too.
it's just a different sense of, like, I'm ready to, like, if I need to do anything, if I want to see a friend, whatever.
My kid lost his whole first travel season for soccer. Like,
thanks.
Listen, he played 3 games. He scored a goal, which was real good. At least he got to score a goal during that time or whatever. And then now I'm getting emails now about he's got to try out again.
Whoa.
He got to try out again because the season's over. I mean, we came in halfway through the season, so we were just doing the spring. It's really like a year-long program. But, like, he got to play 3 games of that age group, and now he's got to move up to the next age group. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nuts. All right, well, listen, speaking of nuts, if you're crazy, then make sure that you're not dumb, okay? And what I mean by that is if you're into Bitcoin, you're crazy, okay? We know that. You got to be crazy. But don't be dumb and do something stupid with your Bitcoin, like lose it. So to prevent yourself from doing something dumb, make sure that you head on over to beardsandbitcoins.com and sign up for your 21 best Bitcoin practices guide so you don't do anything stupid or lose your crypto.
Yeah, come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Don't be a dummy. Don't be a dummy. All right, let's hit token time.
Token time. All right, this week for token time, we are talking probably a lot of your favorite projects. This thing has been pumping in the last month and a half. I mean, it's like 640% in the last 7 weeks. Something crazy like that. Another 22% today.
Jeez, I'm looking at it right now. It's moved all the way up to number 31 on CoinMarketCap. It was almost down to, I think, 80.
Wow. We're talking about DigiByte. DGB.
Yeah. DGB.
Laura loves Digi. She's been on the show. She's a big fan. We're a big fan of hers. Got to hang out in Texas. What's up? Yeah, to the Digi community, congratulations for hanging on, man. It's been a ride for them.
Yeah. Well, and I actually listed this in my, I can't remember which video it was. I did like top up and coming coins or something. I can't remember what the name of the title was for the altcoin video I did, but I included on my picks for May or for April. So at the beginning of April, I said, this is a good project. Is it the best project? Is it the next Bitcoin? Probably not. Is this one of the top projects? Yeah, it is. There's no reason this project is down as far as it is. It's in the 70s. This thing will not be held down forever. And it's on 266% gains from the time I made that video to the end of April.
Dang.
Yeah. And Bitcoin, keep in mind, guys, Bitcoin did 27%. So wildly, like almost 10x Bitcoin's performance. Or did 10x Bitcoin's performance, actually.
Dude, that's crazy. So in case you didn't know, DigiByte is a rapidly growing open source blockchain created in late 2013, released in early 2014. And according to the website digibyte.io, it claims that after 6 years of forward-thinking development, DigiByte has become one of the safest, fastest, longest, and most decentralized UTXO blockchain in existence. They're in 100 plus countries all over the world.
Yeah. So UTXO, I mean, that's kind of the blockchain infrastructure it uses. Like
Nerd
alert. Qtum uses that. I think you're Qtum. What? Uses that. So, it's got a lot of good stuff to like about it. But, the thing about Digi that really to me, or DigiByte, I've always called it DigiByte, but I've switched over recently to DigiByte. Okay.
DigiByte.
Did you bite it? I don't know. He's got teeth marks on it. God, I'm killing the dad jokes today. But in all reality, the thing is, one thing that's held DigiByte back and still continues to hold it back is the fact that it does not have a major exchange listing. And by major exchange, I mean it does not have a Binance listing. It does not have a Coinbase listing. Let's see who does list DigiByte.
Hey, now that you say that, there was like huge controversy around
Yes.
that. Maybe what, like 8 months ago, a year ago?
Oh, it's been ongoing for years. For years, this controversy has been
There
going.
was.
It
What was
had
the
another
huge?
flare up. It's had 2 flare ups over the last year.
Where they like won a contest and then the exchange gave it to someone else or something?
Yeah. So, well, I can't remember. Elastos, I know, won a contest, and Binance ended up saying they faked it, and so like they used bots to win, so they wouldn't list them. So I can't remember if DigiByte also. I think DigiByte won a Twitter poll. Maybe Binance put out a Twitter poll and DigiByte won it. But here's the whole thing: is Jared Tate is their founder. He's not their CEO because they don't have a CEO. He doesn't have access to like bukus of DigiByte, like unused supply, like other CEOs would have. Like that's not the structure of DigiByte. It's truly decentralized.
Right.
So Binance said, hey, if you want to get listed, then you're going to have to pay us $1 million in DigiByte. I think it was $1 million. I can't remember exactly what the number was. I think it was somewhere around there. And he said, I literally can't do that. Like, I don't have access to those funds, you know? I just wonder if the community maybe could have raised that money, you know? If you could have had people in DigiByte that would have all like donated $100 to pay for that listing fee, maybe that would have ultimately helped them financially, I believe, you know?
I mean, that's a good point. Oh, like crowdsourcing your listing
Yeah,
fee.
like crowdsourcing it. But Jared Tate is very idealistic. He's very like he's like an old school crypto guy. Like he really believes in decentralization. Like I believe he hates the fact that like people feel like DigiByte needs to be on one of these bigger exchanges. Like I think he hates that. Like he wants to think like, you know, if they want this, they'll find where to buy it. I think he probably hates that to begin with. You know? But so he's like an old school guy. Like he's all about decentralization, and he's so many times he's said stuff that has actually put the project at harm financially, not like the blockchain, but the price
Right.
in harm's way by dumb stuff. I don't want to say dumb, but by just being too idealistic, I think, and saying things that may need to be said. But like if you're the CEO and that's going to affect the bottom line of all the people that have your project, then maybe you should be careful what you say, even if he's right, being more tactful. And that has led basically Binance and DigiByte to have a huge feud with each other. And there's been a couple flare-ups. It flared up recently, like maybe three or 4 months ago when Poloniex. Right. Yeah, you remember that story?
Yep. Now it's all coming back to me.
All coming back to me now.
Was that Meatloaf?
I think it was. I'm a big TikTok star now, so like I can sing and dance and stuff now. It's no big deal. You know? I don't mind singing in public now. You know, like I'm a TikTok superstar. Pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah,
you should go on the voice. You should go on the Voice.
I should go on The Masked Singer.
Ooh, even better.
I might be on that show next year, possibly. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm a celebrity now, so yeah, I am. But the point here. But anyway, back to DigiByte. The point back here with DigiByte is, you know, Binance has had a big feud with them, and you know, it's gotten personal for sure between Jared Tate and CZ. It's gotten personal between Jared Tate and Justin Sun. It's been very personal, and it's nice to see that even though they haven't been able to obtain one of those listings yet, that the project has really returned. So now if DigiByte somehow is able to get one of these listings, probably more likely Coinbase or Binance US. I don't think it may be on Binance US. I doubt it, but it could be.
I don't think so.
Yeah. If it were to get on Binance US or Coinbase, it could have a monster run. You know, we could see DigiByte get back in the top 20, which would be great. I never thought I would have saw that like 3, 4, 5 months ago.
No, but speaking of the top 20 and all your favorite cryptos, make sure that you join our Telegram channel so that you can come talk to us about your favorite cryptos so that we can talk about them during token time. The address, it's probably down below in the screen, but it's t.me/beards and bitcoins. Again, come talk to us. Ask us questions, chit chat with us. I actually, full disclosure, I just recently got a new phone. I have to install Telegram onto said new phone. And so by the time you're listening to this episode, I'll be back in the chat room.
Sending nudes. Yeah. J-Chain is going to be back. You got the iPhone 11 Pro, right? So you'll have that real high retina
Max,
nude.
That Pro Max, baby.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. The nude, not the phone. I don't care. I have the phone. I want to see the nude. All right. let's get a question for the audience here.
Whatcha Thinkin?
All right, here we go. We got a question from the audience. This is my man, Pope. Old Pope. Let's check out what he has to say.
Please, I just want to ask, when is the best time to buy Bitcoin? Is it before the halving, or during the halving, or after the halving?
Okay, so Mr. Pope here. I don't know if he's Mr. Pope. Maybe he's just Pope. Maybe
I like Mr. Pope. Mr. Pope.
Maybe he's the Pope.
Oh.
This could be the Pope of the Catholic Church right now, calling in, wanting to know
Vatican?
straight from the Vatican, wanting to know where he can put in his gold and silver coins. I don't know what currency they use in the Vatican. Okay, he's gonna put his gold coins into some Bitcoins. What do you think?
That's real nice. Good for him. That's
nice.
smart.
Wants to know when he's going to do it. Now, if you guys want to ask a question on the show, all you have to do is go to ask.beards.live and hit it up and ask a question. You get your question answered just like Pope is about to. So let's answer the question. So he says, is it better to buy Bitcoin during the halving, or right before the halving, or after the halving?
That's a good question, because no one really knows what's going to happen. I mean, history always repeats itself, right? So in theory, like 2 weeks ago, it should have started running up, right? It's not like days up to, it's usually weeks up to, right?
Well, here's the thing. I've done a lot of research into the halving. Do you know how many halvings we've had?
3. This is the 4th.
No, this is the 3rd.
Really?
So this is the 4th cycle. We're going into the 4th cycle. But when Bitcoin was created, it wasn't created via halving. So it was created in 2009. First halving was in 2012. Second one in 2016, and now we're in the 3rd halving, going into the 4th cycle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's where I was confused. Good thing.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people think that. A lot of people think that there's been 3 already. There's only been 2. And each one has actually behaved a little bit differently. So for us to sit here and say we know how Bitcoin is going to behave during this time, we just can't really say that.
It's all just a guess. It's all just a personal guess and opinion. And that's kind of like, that's really kind of the risk in investing in certain things. You take a chance on something, and if you got the feeling, if you're believing it. I mean, I saw something where some trader, like, he gut traded himself to like money that you don't ever have to work again, kind of thing. I mean, you just have to have a feeling, whether that feeling is positive or negative. It doesn't matter. You just have to, because no one knows the answer. I mean, I'm just finding a roundabout way of saying no one knows what's going to happen. I mean, you can make your guess.
Here's the thing. Like, we do know. Like, we don't know, but we also do know. So what I mean by that is, since the first halving and the second halving, okay, within a couple weeks, or actually maybe about 6 weeks, either way, there was a 30% drop, okay? The first halving, I believe, I might get this mixed up, but I believe the first halving, it saw the 30% drop right before the halving, okay? When the halving actually occurred, the price dropped 10%, but never lower than that 30, and then went up. With the last halving, it pumped leading into the halving, and then it dropped 30% directly after the halving. So here,
the constant's the 30%. It's going to do a 30%.
Except for this one,
if history repeats itself.
Well, some people would argue it's already happened. We had a 60% drop a couple weeks ago, or about 2 months ago at this point. So maybe that 60% price drop had that little 30% price drop baked into it. So maybe we won't see a huge drop. We will see a drop after the halving. We will. Now, is it a 10% or a 30%? Is it one day? The last drop was less than a week. The time before it, that 10% drop, I believe, was about a month. I may, like I said, I'm maybe getting those, the instances mixed up, but the numbers are correct. So here's what we don't know. We don't know the amount is going to drop afterwards, but we do know it's probably going to drop. We don't know, or have we already had our pump, we were down 60%. Now
Right.
we are now above the price, well above the price when the market crashed. We're above the price we were at that day. We're above the price we were at the day before. So we've totally erased the crash. So that might be good enough in itself. Most of us will take that at this point. So we don't know if we're going to get another pump leading into the halving. We do know the price will drop after the halving. It might be a flash crash, but it will drop. But what we do know is over the last 2 cycles, okay, we can't say for sure it's going to happen, but we're pretty sure I would be shocked. The price starts rising within 2 months of the halving and it never stops. It rises pretty consistent. It'll get to all-time highs. Once it hits the all-time highs, it may hit a rejection. It may go through it. Once Bitcoin crashes through that all-time high resistance, it is off to the moon, boys. Off to the moon.
Off to the moon.
Yeah.
So, all right. So then do you hedge kind of what you got? So say you got a half a Bitcoin. You got that in your reserve.
Okay.
Do you, knowing that Bitcoin is going to go down, and this is a conversation we've talked about this many times, but just for the sake of conversation, you know that it's going to drop. Is it wise to tether off so that you could keep your USD value while the Bitcoin value goes down, so that when it gets to your desired level, you buy back in with a little bit more leverage?
If you are a hodler, if you are the type of person that you're in crypto, you've got a portfolio, you watch your portfolio, sometimes you make some trades just because that's what people in crypto do. You know, like, he's like, you know what, I think I want to jump out of this project. I would like to maybe consolidate some holdings, whatever it might be, you know. Then if you're that type of person in crypto, then no, I would do nothing, because you will get burned by tethering. We've talked about this before. Talked about last week. Happened to you. If you're a trader and you understand charts and you can look at that and say like, yeah, I can pretty much expect this to drop, then yeah, sure, you might want to go ahead and drop out of it. But for the novice, I'm telling you guys, you are much safer just hodling, letting it go down, because
ride the storm.
Yeah, even if it goes up to $10,000, like, that's not the target here, guys. The target here is 100K. That's the target. That's where we're going. So to get back to Pope's question, to get back to the Pope's question, or Mr. Pope. Okay.
Mr. Pope.
It is best, if you're looking for a new entry point, in my opinion, to wait until either within 24 hours of the halving, or watch what the markets are doing. Wait for that drop, because it probably will drop. But I know that the great law of trading for novices is, if you're already in a position and you think you're going to tether out and scoop up some more on the way down, you're probably going to get burned. So that law is in effect.
You're going to lose at least 1/10 of a Bitcoin, I promise you.
It's probably going to happen. So whatever you think is going to happen, probably the opposite is going to happen. So
ain't gonna happen.
That's how the market reacts. So
I hope that answered your question, Mr. Pope.
Yeah, I hope it did as well. So if I were you, if I were in your position, Mr. Pope, I would wait until the 24 hours after the halving and see what it does. And if a big red candle comes down, I would go ahead and scoop it up at that point. And if it goes down further, hey, that's fine. You already got a scoop. You got a scoop. You know, but who knows? The wild card in this is that 60% drop 6 weeks ago, or 2 months ago now, I guess it was.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right. Well, if you want to be like Mr. Pope, ask us a question. Ask.beards.live.
Manspreading.
All right. This week on Manspreading, we're going to do a little bit of follow-up with Ben, because last week we talked about your TikTok Twinkie grill.
Yeah.
But a good side note of having this grill for your TikToks is that your family was going to be eating well. So we talked about what was going to be the first thing that you grilled for the fam. So what was it?
Burgers. So like I said, it was going to be, I said it a month ago when we started talking about grilling out some meats. Probably do some burgers. Did some burgers. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. We had some frozen burgers in the house. Okay. The Bubba burgers. These are not my favorite ones to grill. And let me tell you what these are like. So we grilled them out, and look, they tasted great. We had a great family night I think it was Friday night or Saturday night. Great family night, grilled out the burger. It was awesome. But these are more like the size of McDonald's quarter pounder patties. You know, I like them thick boys.
You got to get those handmade ground beef patties.
Exactly. So we already had those in the house, and so we grilled. I grilled a few other things. I grilled an ice cream cake.
Whoa! So was that much like the Twinkie thing, or did all the ice cream melt?
Oh, it all. We just did it till it melted. So we went to Dairy Queen. We actually went and saw an air show on Saturday, and stopped by Dairy Queen. I was like, you know what? Let me get an ice cream cake. So I said, hey, can I get? We went through a drive-through. I said, can I get an ice cream cake? They're like, yeah, sure. They're like, do you want us to write anything on it? I said, I guess so. I said, you know what? Yeah, write CEO of Facts, FACTS. And so she looked at me real weird. She went, I said, yeah, CEO of Facts. She said, oh, okay. So she brought it back. I put it in the back of the car, or whatever. And I got it home and got it pulled out. And I looked, and she wrote CEO of Facts, FAX on it. So I grilled out. I grilled this. We just grilled it till it melted. It was crazy to watch. But it just used just overhead view CEO of Facts. It was pretty. But the grilling weird stuff is over. That didn't really pop on TikTok like I thought it would. I moved on to something totally different. So now we can start focusing on like really grilling the meats. You know what I mean?
There you go. Good.
Yeah, I'm
good
excited.
for you. Yeah, I grilled some burgers myself the other day, which was fantastic.
Nice, dude.
So good.
Cheeseburgers. You got to put cheese on them, right?
Who doesn't put cheese on a burger?
Some people don't, man. It's weird.
Man, that's weird. That's weird. You're weird if you do that.
That's weird. I mean, if you're lactose intolerant, we get it. You know what I'm saying? But
that's true.
Can you not be a man and eat cheese anyways?
That's true.
Just
that's
saying.
True.
Okay. But you got something you're looking at doing right now, which I mean, this is some manly stuff right here. Let's hear it.
I'm gonna get a motorcycle.
Oh.
Yeah. It's been long enough. It was December since the crash. I'm feeling good. Ready to ride. I need that wind therapy. So I'm deciding on which bike to get. I threw a Twitter thing out the other week, kind of going through some things. I think I'm narrowing it down to a Harley. I think I'm either doing like a Street Bob, a Street Glide, or a Sportster 1200. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, explain the difference between those for those people out in the audience who may not ride motorcycles.
Okay. So a Street Bob is kind of like a bobber. It's really more just like a minimalistic bike that has a different look to it. The Street Glide is probably what you would say would be your quintessential Harley. It's got the big Batwing fairing on the front with the big two hard saddlebags on the back. And then the Sportster 1200 is just like a quick little nimble bike, but it's a 1200. It's a cruiser. It's just like a standard cruiser.
So you don't mess with like Yamaha.
Well, that's the bike that I had. The one that.
I'm not saying that right. I'm talking about a street bike.
Oh, like a crotch rocket?
Yeah. You don't mess with those? Have you ever had one?
Dude, no. I've ridden a couple. I can't own one of those. I have like a serious need for speed. Yeah. So I would be dead. I would be dead. I probably I think after the next bull run, I'm going to get one that's just for the track only. And this way I'll, wear the special suit and all that kind of stuff, the neck brace. And because we got the Formula One track right here where they do the MotoGP here in Austin. So it's just like a couple minutes down the road from my house. So dude, get a sport bike and rip up the track. That's where I'll take out my need for speed because I really have it.
Well, I do want to say this. If you do get into another motorcycle accident, which God forbid, I certainly hope that you don't. I love you. I don't want you to do that. But if you do, and you ended up like in a full body cast or something, I just want you to know, if you need someone to come over and give you sponge baths, I got you.
That's very kind of you.
I want you to know that.
Way to take something so manly like motorcycles and make it not manly.
I want you to know, man. Hey, you're my dude. You're my boy. Okay, I got you.
I appreciate that. That's
like best friends right there. Like I got you. I want you to know.
You know what? I'll do the same for you if something were to happen to you. I got you, dog.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate that, man. I might go get hit by a car tomorrow.
I got you, fam.
But that's cool, man. We've talked about on the show, like motorcycles is the one thing I don't do. Like I don't mess with motorcycles. I had, growing up, we talked about on the show once before. My dad and my stepdad, or my dad and my mom's fiance at the time, they ended up not getting married. She got a different stepdad, but they both had terrible motorcycle accidents when I was a kid, and I just nothing I ever got into. No, I've been on one time in my whole life, and it was in the Philippines. I was in the Philippines. So the only way to get around over there. So I was rode with somebody, but I'm Hey, I'm looking at a different set of wheels. I want you to know this. I'm starting to put my antenna up for a new ride.
Nice.
I've been
Looking at
floating it
that
to the
Hellcat?
wife. I'm letting the wife
Looking at
know.
that looking at that Hellcat?
Actually, you know what? A new Corvette looks pretty sweet.
Ooh, nice.
I will say this. If I don't have one of those new Corvettes by the end of the year, I will be shocked.
My man. Dude,
Yeah.
those things are so much fun. My uncle's got one. I think I had it up to like 135. Dude, that thing rips, dude. Like in no time it rips. He's got that and then an Aston Martin DB9. That thing is stupid fast. Stupid fast.
Yeah, I can't wait. You know what's been crazy though is I've driven my car twice in 3 months now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
Well, that'll hopefully all change, man. Hopefully that
Yeah.
all changes and we get kind of at least something back to normal soon.
I think it will. Well, we're going to throw a poll on this week for you guys to vote on. Should we vote on what kind you should get? Or did you already do that?
No, well, I'll take suggestions. Yeah, let's take a look at for the poll this week the different styles of motorcycles. Maybe what your favorite is, what you think that I should get. We could go cruiser, sport bike, like a street enduro, like a scrambler, something like that, or a touring bike, like the big Harley that I talked about, a street glider,
Nice.
something like that. So.
I'll go ahead and give my vote. My vote's to Harley. If you're going to get one, might as well get the Harley.
Dude, loud pipes save lives, man. That's what I'm doing.
Absolutely. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it, guys. That's all we got for today. So thank you so much for listening to Beards and Bitcoins, crypto podcast for the man's man and the ladies who love them. Each week, we are bringing you guys news, information, and stories to spread awareness about cryptocurrency.
That's right. And if you enjoyed this episode, please visit ratethispodcast.com/beardsbitcoins to leave us a rating and review. Also, please help us spread the word by sharing your favorite Beards and Bitcoins podcast episodes on your social medias.
And don't forget to visit beardsandbitcoins.com to join our Telegram group today. That's all we got. We will see you guys next time.